Hi, my name is Darren Sonnenstall, and on this installment of Why Do You Need to Know Math, I want to talk a little bit about geometry. Sounds like a scary word, doesn't it? Where would I ever use geometry in the real world? Now, granted, not every profession or not everything you do is going to require geometry. And on one of the other videos, I talked about a little bit, well, why learn math at all? And it had to do with the process of thinking. And it does, it helps a lot in the thinking process. But now, imagine that you know some geometry. And maybe you're doing a weekend project when you want to work on building a tree fort or something. And you want to figure out, well, let's see, how high is that tree? Okay? And yes, I'm not an artist, so that's why I got into math. The tree fort, you want to put it up so high, so you got to get up there. And you want to make it secure. You got to know how wide this is. And you want to figure out, how many boards do I need? Well, let's see. If I want to make it square, because it just happened to fit in the tree that you're going to put it in, and you got 2x4s, and you want to use 2x4s, well, let's go with a 2x6. And we'll just assume for this example that is exactly 6 inches. And you got a space here, and you want to have, you want to have enough space for your friends, and you might have, let's say we got a total of 6 feet here, 6 feet and 6 feet. Well, first of all, what do they call that? Well, it's a square, right? You don't know anything about math, is a square. So how many boards do you need if you want to go buy the boards? Well, let's see. If there's 6 inches, how many are in a foot? Well, there's going to be 2, right? So we got 2 per foot, and we got 6 feet, so that's going to be 12. And they need to be at least 6 feet long. Well, what if they only come in 12 footers? Only need 12 6-footers, so couldn't we get half that many, or 6 12-footers and cut them in half? I would think so. So a simple geometry problem there. And again, we're just using a square, calculating some areas. Now, let's say you're going to do another weekend project. Maybe you want to, you're going to reshingle. You're going to get up on that roof. Well, how many, they call them squares. How much area do they cover? You're going to want to know how to calculate that. And then it's on a slant, but you got the whole roof, and you get to lay it out, and you figure out how much overlap each one is. Now, I'd like to go back to one other example I mentioned in one of the other videos, is creating a staircase. And that's something that a lot of houses I walk into, that staircase, even the carpenters mess it up. They get down here, you got a floor, you got the first floor here. They measure that, and you can use a square to do this. And you figure it rise versus run, so you get your square and you can lay it on the board. And you know how steep you want it, so you can adjust it right. Well, one of the things they always forget to do is put the flooring on top of it. And so if they calculate it up here, they drop it, and then usually you end up with either a tall or a short step down here. So you got to know how to take into account what kind of floor is going in and how to use that tool. And if you actually know how to use a square, then when I mean a square, it looks like an L, and it has the letters or the numbers on it. And you can actually use one of those, tip it to get your rise and run on the edge of your straight board. Because you see that? Look at, oh, I got a straight board here, the edge of the board. That looks like a square. If I know how many inches it's got to go here and how many inches it's got to go there, I can just lay one down after another, boop, 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 and make a stringer. Very easy. You just got to know how to think it out. So in building projects or figuring areas, or you want to get some fertilizer for the weekend, or you want to make a jump to jump your bike off in the backyard. You know, how high do you want it? How much board do you need? Sure, you can do a trial and error, but if you think it out a little bit, it can actually be a little bit of fun. Yeah, I know maybe I'm a little weird that I think math is fun, but I think for you it could be fun too. So I challenge you. Think of the different ways that you might be using math all the time. You might be thinking about it or using it and you don't even know it. Try to be a little more cognitive about it. Think purposefully. Think about why I know this. It's probably because you took a simple little math class in school and you're able to apply it to something. I bet you'd be really surprised at all of the math that you do use. That's it for now. Thank you for listening and take care.